This is a quick overview video of my new Fujitsu Ergo Pro X desktop computer that I've just recently picked up from the trash. This machine's a Pentium 1 machine with 32 megabytes of RAM. The CPU is clocked at 133 megahertz, and I've restored this computer from a quite shocking condition. So looking at the machine from the front, up the top we have a floppy drive, which is still the original one, and underneath we've got a DVD drive, which obviously is not the original. The original one was infested by ants, so I had to get rid of it. On the back of this computer you can see some standard and non-standard connectors. As common for the time, you've got a connector to hook your monitor up to the power supply built in here. Up here there used to be two serial ports, which I have not put back in because I'm not using them. Down here is some sort of network port which I've accidentally broken off, followed by an Ethernet port which is still fine. Over here I've got two really shocking PS2 devices to control the computer. Over here is a 3.5mm audio headphone jack, followed by two USB ports, one which is populated with an 8GB Cruiser Facet disk, which I'm using for storage purposes. Then there's a printer parallel port as well as VGA port. Now for some of the components I've connected up to this computer. First is the HP monitor, which is an old LCD, which I'm only using because I don't trust CRT monitors. Over here I have a flexible USB keyboard, which somehow seems to work with a PS2 adapter, as well as a legitimate PS2 mouse. Okay, in order to service or take apart this computer, first you have to unplug the power cable, because this is sort of in the way of opening it up. Secondly, you just push forward on the plastic and it will scoot off the front and then can be lifted off. Inside you will notice that everything fits together really modular, which surprised me when I opened up this machine. Through the side panel here we can have a good look on the motherboard. Here's a 133 MHz Pentium 1 CPU, next to which there is a 32 megabyte stick of SD RAM. Over here there's a bunch of jumpers for different settings, including CPU clock frequency. As this is a 90s desktop computer, there's actually a PCI riser card, which goes up here for 2 PCI slots and 3 ISA slots. The interface used to connect this riser card is similar to an AGP interface. Connected to this plastic panel up the front here is a small fan which blows across the CPU fan heatsink. Now for the system's modularity. I won't actually take the whole system apart, but I will basically show you some of the really neat features on taking this apart. So to take out the floppy drive or the hard drive, basically you just lift up on this metal cage here and it will simply unlatch and you can remove it from the system. Underneath, the CD-ROM drive or DVD-ROM drive is also in a metal riser cage and can be simply removed. I will now slot these two back in so that I don't accidentally take out the IDE cables. Now to some of the improvements that I've made to the system. I have cleaned out this whole metal backplate for the hard drive, which was covered in a foam type material. Over here lurks the 500 megabyte Seagate drive, which can be covered again by this metal shielding. The PSU on this system is also modular, as it can be simply lifted up with a screwdriver or a similar prying utensil, allowing you to remove this old power supply from the system. This Fujitsu system dates back to about 1996, just by looking at the components, and the manufacturing date is stamped on the back of the unit. This is a non-ACPI unit, as the power button goes directly into the power supply unit. The system turns off instantly as soon as you hit this button. I will now power on the system with this power button here. As I already mentioned, this unit has no AHCI features, so to power it off, you will actually have to press in the power button and make sure it's turned off. And I've just rebooted it because the button got stuck. Now for all you sound lovers, here's a quick sound of the hard drive and the post beep.